In the world of modern air combat, power is no longer measured only by speed, stealth, or raw firepower. The real battlefield has quietly shifted into something far less visible, but far more disruptive: software. And this is where Sweden's Saab Gripen has become deeply unsettling for traditional U.S. defense dominance. At first glance, the Gripen looks like a modest aircraft. It's smaller, lighter, and cheaper than American heavyweights like the F-35. It doesn't dominate headlines the same way. But beneath its compact airframe lies a philosophy that challenges the very foundation of how the United States has controlled global military aviation for decades. The heart of that challenge is Gripen's open software architecture. For years, U.S. fighter jets have been built around closed, tightly controlled software ecosystems. If a country buys an American jet, it doesn't just buy hardware, it enters a long-term dependency. Software updates, weapons integration, electronic warfare upgrades, and even some maintenance decisions remain under U.S. oversight. This structure ensures interoperability with U.S. forces, but it also guarantees American influence. Gripen breaks this model completely. Saab designed the Gripen with open mission systems, meaning the aircraft software is modular, flexible, and, most importantly, owned by the operator, not the manufacturer. A country flying Gripen can modify, upgrade, and integrate systems without asking permission from Washington or waiting years for approval. That alone is revolutionary. To understand why this is dangerous to U.S. dominance, you have to understand how power works in defense exports. The United States doesn't just sell jets, it sells alignment. Buy American, and you're locked into American weapons, American data networks, American timelines, and American geopolitical priorities. Gripen offers something radically different: sovereign control. A Gripen operator can integrate non-U.S. weapons, domestic sensors, or locally developed electronic warfare systems. They can update software at the speed of modern warfare, not bureaucratic procurement cycles. In an age where threats evolve in months, not decades, this flexibility is priceless. And that scares the traditional defense order. The open software system also makes Gripen unusually adaptable against advanced threats. Modern air combat is no longer just about dogfighting. It's about data fusion, electronic attack, cyber resilience, and network warfare. Gripen's software allows rapid reprogramming of radar modes, jamming profiles, and threat libraries, sometimes in hours rather than years. In contrast, U.S. platforms, especially the F-35, are tied to centralized software updates controlled by the Pentagon and major defense contractors. Even allies must wait for approval to implement changes. That delay can be acceptable in peacetime, but in a real conflict, it becomes a vulnerability. Gripen turns software into a weapon that evolves as fast as the battlefield itself. There's another uncomfortable truth for the U.S. Gripen lowers the barrier to high-end air power. American jets are incredibly capable, but they are also incredibly expensive, complex, and politically sensitive. Gripen's open architecture allows smaller nations to punch above their weight. They can customize the jet to their own doctrine, rather than reshaping their military around American systems. This threatens the monopoly effect the U.S. has enjoyed. When countries realize they can maintain modern air superiority without surrendering software control, the strategic balance shifts. Not dramatically overnight, but steadily. Perhaps the most dangerous aspect for U.S. dominance is how Gripen fits into future warfare. Artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, and unmanned teaming all depend on software openness. An aircraft that can easily integrate new algorithms, third-party AI tools, or domestic innovation will age far better than one locked into a closed ecosystem. Gripen is built for that future. It is not a jet frozen in time, waiting for its manufacturer to decide when it evolves. It is a platform designed to grow with its operator's technology base. That's a nightmare scenario for traditional defense giants whose business models rely on long upgrade cycles and exclusive control. Critics often argue that open systems create security risks. Saab's response has been simple. Control doesn't equal vulnerability, dependence does. Gripen's architecture allows countries to secure, audit, and protect their systems independently, rather than trusting a foreign power with mission-critical software. In a world where cyber warfare is as important as air combat, that independence matters. And the U.S. knows it. This is why Gripen is not just an aircraft, it's an idea. An idea that says advanced air power doesn't have to mean permanent dependence. An idea that challenges decades of defense export strategy. An idea that quietly undermines the leverage built into closed systems. Gripen doesn't need to defeat U.S. jets in combat to be dangerous. It only needs to convince countries that control matters more than prestige, flexibility matters more than branding, and software matters more than sheer size. And in that sense, the real threat of Gripen is not flying at 40,000 feet. It's running silently in lines of code, rewriting the rules of global air power.